the most important part of today's segment. The season is over and the Calcio Mercato starts. But this year, it's going to be crazy because so many teams changing their coaches, so many coaches available on the market. And I'm talking about only the Italian market, not even mentioning what happened internationally, because you got Klopp on the go, you got that Zerbi on the go, which is Italian. Yeah. I got feeling that, what's his name, Pepe might go. So we got a beautiful graphic done by the boys for you. So where will be the coach next year go? So as you can tell, we got Conte wearing a Napoli tracksuit. Why? Because it looks like it's 99% already signed. Then you got Pioli and Italiano together. Together, why? Because they're the only two with question mark to their name. We don't know yet. There's not been associated anything. And then you got Fonseca on the other end, which is almost 99% confirmed at AC Milan. So, Vito, Conte has been rumors about Conte close to Napoli getting stronger and stronger and stronger to the stage that Pedula, with Gianni Romano, all the big names in Calcio Mercato, are coming out in the last 24 hours saying deal has been made, the paperwork has been sent, in the next 24 to 78 hours contract is going to be signed and then announced. De Laurentiis yesterday was special guest at an event regarding racism with Juan Jesus, representing Juan Jesus. So when they asked him about Calcio Mercato, he said, listen, I'm not here to talk about Calcio Mercato soccer. I'm here about, to talk about this speech. But I can't say much, but the next 10 days is going to be critical, very important. So is he buying times? Is he pushing time? Because, De Laurentiis is like every president or every TD, never give you an answer that can give you what you call?
He'll give you a taste or
he probably
or a red herring. So he'll make you think it's someone else. But then
because
the
to me,
because
if you remember, the first name that got associated to Napoli was Italiano.
Yeah.
And now for me, to him to say in the next 10 days, it's like pushing after the Mickey Mouse Cup final.
Yeah.
So is he trying to play the mouse and cat with us? Because it looks like people close to Conte confirming. People that work with Conte confirming. When you ask Ciro Ferrara, that has been named to be his assistant or has been his team, he smiled and said he can't talk. Yeah. But his name's coming up. So I want to ask you something. If all these rumors are correct, that Conte is going to take Napoli, and Napoli is only going to play Serie A next year, doesn't have any international competition. I personally, as a Napoli fan, I don't want to comment. I would like to know an opinion from somebody outside. That are not Napoli fan. If Conte takes Napoli next year for real, okay, bringing Oriali, bringing Lukaku to replace Osimhen, don't even go to the Mercato. But do you think Napoli with Conte playing only Serie A will go back to be a contender?
I think so, because this situation suits Conte. I think we've talked about this whether it be previous episodes or even off air, that these are the situations that Conte likes because he will just focus on the league, he'll train the team in the way he wants. And the common thing with Conte teams, he makes his teams work hard. Nobody can sort of sit around and be lazy. They got to put in, 110%.
And really this year what Napoli needed was a leader and was a general that make them run.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason you can see there was no leadership in the team.
But without going too much into the Calcio Mercato, I think Napoli really need to improve the defence, because Conte, he'll want to have a strong defence to build his team around.
And with Conte, you could tell that will be the first thing will be strengthening the defence. Okay, Fonseca, Milan seems to be almost done deal because Pioli confirmed that he's leaving. Yeah. Do you think, my Milan fan, a 50-50, actually, I'll say 80-20. They're not really happy about Fonseca. He didn't do a great season with Lille in France. I think he finished 4th or 5th. So finished 4th or 5th in France. Yeah. When you go
not a good look.
It's not a good look.
No.
So what do you think? I'm not a big fan of Fonseca, and after the experience, sorry, I'll keep cutting, but I'm going to let you talk. Sorry. And after the experience I had this year at Napoli with the French guy, I'm really not a big fan of coaches that are not Italian to come to Italy.
No, it's not like, some other foreign coaches that have come in the years past, They're not as Sven-Göran Eriksson, put it that way.
Yeah, but Eriksson didn't start from a top club.
No, not necessarily.
They started and they built up. Boskov, Eriksson, but also they've been in Italy for how long?
Yeah.
Before
they
achieving
ended
success.
Up saying many years, yeah. But back to the foreign coaches that come in now, they're not big names or anything fantastic. But Fonseca in particular, he was all right at Roma, but not great. And for Milan, I don't think he represents an improvement on Pioli.
Listen, I don't understand why so negative, so unhappiness about Pioli, fans, Pioli out, Pioli out. In 4 years, with that team, because I keep repeating, the Milan squad, in my opinion, it's an average squad. It's not a squad to finish top 3. He won a title and finished 2nd place. I'll be happy if Pioli ends up at Napoli, because I think he's a very concrete coach.
Yeah, and he tries to keep things simple. He doesn't try to complicate things.
So, and he started with Ibrahimovic and he lost Ibrahimovic and he played with Giroud. Yeah. Now, Giroud is 38.
38.
So everybody, and a bunch of young kids. He's probably got a couple of good names in his team.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I think Milan's doing a big back stepwards, letting Pioli go and getting Fonseca. Now, in that chat, there was another 2 coaches.
Yeah.
Italiano and Pioli.
Yeah.
Both of them don't have a team. Now, I have to say, both of them as well has been linked to Napoli, but why? Napoli doesn't have a coach, so any coach available, the media try to throw at Napoli, Where do you see those people sitting?
Pioli, I think if Napoli can't get Conte, I think Pioli would be the next best option. Italiano, I've heard his name being mentioned as a replacement for Motta at Bologna.
Bologna, I had that too, and I really hope that too, because I don't want him at Napoli. You know my opinion about it.
Yeah, I think Bologna would be a better fit for Italiano anyway. I think similar sort of tactics and setup. I don't think he's got to change too much from Motta. Whereas with Napoli, I reckon Napoli at the best, that Scudetto season, Napoli could play fast. They didn't muck around, whereas Italiano in comparison is football.
Slow pace, yeah.
Slow pace, a lot of fiddling around.
It will kill us.
Not good for Napoli.
No, thank you. Let me show De Laurentiis see this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Gasperini played the cat and mouse with Atalanta, but looks like he's going to stay and sign up a contract renewal with a bigger salary and a big freedom on the mercato. You think it's the right decision for Gasperini after a victory to stick at Atalanta, or should he listen to the Sirene, They were calling him for other places. Because he was very close to Napoli too, and he came up publicly on TV the other day and said, look, right now I'm in a weird situation. I'm like, somebody's got a wife and kids, and I got approached by this beautiful lady. Yeah. Should I go with the lady and have a lover, or should I stick with my family? I think that was a nice way to say I'm going to stick with my family. Yeah. But do you think it's the right decision?
I think so, because he's 66 years old now, so I don't think he needs to go to another club, start fresh and change things. He's done so well at Atalanta. The Europa League pretty much cemented his legacy at that club. He's a legend at La Dea officially, let's be honest. And I think for Atalanta to keep going the way they have been, him staying there is a big plus.
Okay. We haven't mentioned, so I mentioned the names before, De Zerbi. No one has been linked to De Zerbi in Italy. I don't think he's been so great that he can only go to the Real Madrid, the PSG of the world. Because at the end of the day, he had a very good season with Sassuolo. Sorry, not Sassuolo.
Yeah, he did well at Sassuolo. Then he went
to Brighton, but finished 8, 9, 10. It's nothing
they
special.
Slipped in the second half of the season. They weren't able to maintain the early form.
Thanks to you, Vito. Thanks to our main sponsor, Pulcinella Cafe. Until next week, from Gioamo and Vito, ciao.